What's up, YouTube? What's up, Silverfish Longboarding? This is KFD. I wanted to make a quick video highlighting my 2003 BMW StreetCarver. Especially after the responses I had seen on Silverfish Longboarding, I had a lot of people on there that had a lot of negative things to say about the board, but they really didn't know too much about it. I figured I would address those today. Anyway, like I said before, BMW made these from 2001 to 2005, technically late 2004. And one thing about BMW is a lot of guys are saying it's a poser board, it's not a real board, blah blah blah. I see wheels and a deck. That to me constitutes a skateboard. And you got to remember too, BMW actually wasn't in the business of making skateboards. They're in the business of making cars. Now with this thing, this is just a unique concept to get people excited about the brand. Myself, not a big BMW guy. However, that's a 2003 Aprilia Mille, and anyone into bikes knows that Aprilia made all the single-cylinder BMW motorcycles for BMW. Anyway, back to the board. A lot of guys on Silverfish Longboarding were complaining that this board is very heavy, which is true. It weighs about 20 pounds. Now, I've been using exclusively these things for the past 9 years. My first one was a 2002. It got stolen. I went about a week without it and bought this one. Back then, I didn't have any bills, and $500 was something that I could afford back then. And a lot of people would say, well, why would you spend $500 on a skateboard? And then they would go and proceed to go get in their $150,000 sports car. Same concept. I bought it because I thought it was really cool, and like I say, I'm not big into doing tricks and ollies and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I started skating when I moved back to Southern California when I was about 18, 19, so for, cruising on the Strand in Hermosa Beach, this was the way to go. I could bomb down the hill, and like I say, I'd just walk back up the hill, go skate down, and everyone saw it was just really enthralled by it. I mean, I didn't get anyone that said, oh man, you're a poser, that thing's gay, or whatever it is you want to say. So, any gorilla can get on a keyboard and pound out hatred like that. Well, here I am to say, you know what? I'm a skateboarder, I'm a longboarder just like you guys. Now, going over to the board. Okay. This is a little bit different than the longboards you're used to. Now, anyone who knows their skateboard history or has seen Back to the Future knows that our fathers and grandfathers back in the 50s, cue the jazz music here, would take old roller skates, the ones you pull apart from the shoe, and nail them to a 2x4. Now, basically, that's where they evolved into the Dogtown Z-Boys board, the Powell Peraltas you saw, the 60s and 70s, the clay wheels, and later the neoprene wheels, that whole thing. And that's pretty much the same technology we see today. Now, like I said, at the BMW Design Center, these guys pretty much wanted to do a different unique concept on a new take on an old concept. So here we go. Again, there's two different types of boards. If you've ever seen my website on kellyscars.net, my skateboard site, I think I'm like a number 2 or number 3 hit on Google for this. I talk all about this. We'll start with the front. This is actually a Series 2 board. They were Series 1s, are only made in 2001. I haven't seen any in a long time. And this is a Series 2, which was the rest of the production. The big difference is the fact that there is a board identification number. This one says 303A25692. My first board was actually 292A25601. That was stolen in Old Town Torrance in 2004. So if you've got it, I'd like it back. Now, back to the front. We have you have your basic kingpin right here. As you see, this is actually, you have your main truck mount, and this would actually pivot on a secondary truck mount, and that's actually what the swing arms mount to. Now, your Series 1 boards actually have a raised nub right here, and a bolt that actually screws right into the swing arm assembly. Now, those used to break a lot. It even had a gusset on the back, and those still would break a lot. Anyway, The other modification I had done to this board is these things actually came stock with stainless steel, which are really soft bolts. Now, I had a run-in with a curb one night and actually bent this bolt, so the wheel was actually cocked and rubbed on the frame, on the swing arm. So basically what I did is I replaced these, went to an industrial hardware store, replaced these with grade 8 bolts. Now, the links. These are called 532 links. These are the only part you can still get from BMW because they're actually off of a, I don't know, E something or other. It's a late 90s, early 2000s 5 Series. These are the anti-roll bar links, and you can actually get Wells, as an aftermarket company, you can go to any Napa and actually get these, which is nice. When I was stationed in NSA Panama City, I didn't have a BMW shop close by me. I actually had a replacement one on here for a while. Let's see, as far as the wheels. Now, when these would wear out, you would go to the dealership and buy a complete wheel and tire assembly. Now, the service replacement wheels didn't have these bolt holes that you see here. Now, the nice thing is I was in Pep Boys a couple years ago last year, and they had one of the ground force electric go-karts. They actually had, the front of them actually were the service replacement wheels for BMW. I had contacted the design center many times to try and get the molds for the tires, at least I can repop the tires, and to no luck. Well, apparently someone had went and made replacements for them. So, the other thing too, these came stock with 6000 Z bearings. I replaced these with 6000 RS, which actually has a rubber center so you can pull them out and repack them. You can use Swiss bearings, speed cream, works wonders in this thing. And the other thing too, if you notice, like say I've got a lot of mileage on the board, this whole assembly is made from real soft aluminum, so you can see a lot of play in a lot of play in the wheels and trucks and assembly stuff like that, which happens over time. The other thing too, I'll point out, is you can see the heavy wear here. These things don't like going across. They don't like going across speed bumps too well. I have to take any speed bump. Watch out! Here's the police. I have to take any speed bump in any driveway at an angle, just like the mini truckers do. Now, the other thing too that a lot of the skateboarders didn't like that I heard on Silverfish was the guys were saying that this board didn't have a return to center feature. Now, if you notice, I'll back up. You see the board's kind of still just chilling right there at an angle. In fact, that should give you a good idea. Not popping back, not springing back at all. I know that in the manual, it said to do a Chapman Turn to try and stop this thing. I have no idea what a Chapman Turn is. I'm just used to carving it and also just using that for a brake, and I believe that's probably what contributed to my severely accelerated wear on my meniscus. But anyway, riding the board takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not like your normal, not like your normal skateboard. I mean, it's a lot more like a snowboard, or dare I even say a surfboard. Other than that, a lot of people wouldn't recommend this board to any other people. I would. Like I say, this is all I've been riding for the past 8-9 years. I mean, I still have the old school Pal Peralta deck, but you know what? I prefer this thing. I really do. It supports a lot of weight. It's a great board if you could find one. It still has, as I've said on my site, the only cool factor afforded to an early 80s Lamborghini Countach. Anyway, thanks for watching.